What's going on, everyone? We got some crazy sales here going on, results from PlayStation after those deals they did in November in Europe and in the US. Sony ended up selling crazy numbers. Now, we know Nintendo didn't go on sale really during Black Friday, but they did do a Cyber Monday deal. So their numbers are still really good. I mean, they ended up doing 1.8 million plus with the Switch family. 351, so about 2.2 million. Sony did 3.7 million, 2 million in Europe, and this is a record of all time. So they are definitely doing huge numbers here, which I think they kind of needed to close that gap for the rest of the year. Nintendo historically in December does insane numbers, but Sony's keeping their sales going all the way even till now. I think till like the 21st or whatever. Considering the way 2026 is looking, oh, but yeah, these numbers are, oh man, 3.7 million. Oh man, and Switch 1.8 and Xbox. Oh well, boy, 213K. See, man, yeah, I mean, you Switch One is embarrassing you. There's a lot to talk about here, but yeah, let's talk about these sales because these numbers are fuego for these two. As we know, Nintendo couldn't really do Black Friday deals because it's like your console just came out, you know what I mean? And they're already doing dumb numbers for the year. And Sony's like, man, this is a lot. So they went ahead and did those deals. This is why you want competition to be good. Plus what's coming next year too, because like I said, it's not looking pretty. And yeah, I mean, I just hope the bubble pops fast. Sony also knows that GTA got delayed, so they're not going to get that burst either. And who knows if that's going to get delayed again. So they ended up making ground big time. And these numbers ended up being more than I bet than people thought. Like they basically what Nintendo carried Black Friday and November big time. Now US November went down, but Europe did not, because look at what Sony did. Worldwide, them and Nintendo, I mean, crazy numbers. But PlayStation is definitely doing really good in November. Way more than I bet people thought. Also, I tell people, like, the deals they had in Europe are crazy. Definitely like that 2 years premium as well. And they know what's going on the market as well, too. So they ended up capitalizing. But, man, talk about stomping. And you know me, like I said, I'm not no hater, so I give credit where it's due. You don't see me hating, you see what I mean? Because I'm not a hater. And I've always owned all, but good lord, 3.7 million and a Nintendo 1.8 million, with the Switch One doing 358. So yeah, they're at like I said, 2.2 million. PlayStation 3.7. Crazy numbers here. And like I tell people, when it comes to Europe, that's where Sony like had a crazy monopoly, and now it's even more crazy. This is why you want Nintendo to be more competitive too. Obviously this is going to drop down significantly because they had crazy deals, but they still did it though. And what do I mean by breaking records? Well, let's take a look at this right over here. It says PS5 breaks European November sales record. Yeah, they did. This is all time. Nintendo actually had the record in Europe. It says, with VG charts estimates for Europe on the front page, PlayStation 5 has broken the all-time record for this month in Europe, which was previously held by PlayStation 5's sales last year. The highest European November sales for each system tracked by VG charts is as follows. PlayStation 5, 2 million. Nintendo DS, 1.6 million. PS5 actually may have had that before, I wasn't sure, but I know DS definitely had it before because it was doing insane numbers back then. Then you have PS4 at 1.28 million, the Wii at 1.05 million, and the Switch at 1.3 million. Because I remember in 2021 they did Nintendo sold like I think 31 million consoles or something like that, almost 32 actually. It was stupid for 1 year sales. And then PS3, yeah, believe it or not, 0.72, but that's when it went more on sale. They lowered the price down. 360, 0.66 million. 3DS, 0.55. But you see how this like goes down. And when you think about PS5 doing that, it just tells you how much people wanted that price affordability. Plus that bundle they had in there too, it was nuts. So, you know, Wii U and Vita, looking at that, that's actually kind of funny. So it's going to be interesting to see how things are going to be going forth, because it's going to be hard for Switch 2 to try to get that until like maybe later on in the cycle, like to even be able to break that 1 million or whatever, considering what the hell is going to be happening in 2026. Because I know they're going to do a Switch Lite, and I know they're going to do an OLED, but I don't know, man. I think it might be more expensive due to this crap. Maybe there may be a price drop. Hopefully. I don't know. They never dropped the price of the Switch One. That's going to be hard. Sony has a crazy record right here in Europe. But that makes sense because that's their strongest territory. Now going down, it says this is not an all-time record for a Europe month. However, as both DS and Wii had bigger Decembers than 2.07 million. Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell you. Nintendo definitely had that. But for a November aspect, it did. The December record is 3 million for the DS in 2007. Good Lord. Yeah, DS, we already know. Like that in PS2, I mean, they have crazy track records. Switch One does as well, but not in Europe though. So, congratulations to Sony for breaking that record. Let's see what some of these comments say. Very big contract with the USA. Contrast, sorry, I don't know how to say contract. Very big contrast with the USA. Yeah, because they were talking about like things going down. But in breaking records in Europe, some of the lowest sales in years for the USA. But that's not Sony and Nintendo, that's Xbox. This guy's like, yeah, it's a crazy difference. The last time PlayStation sold worse in USA, November, was PS3 in 2012. And of course, we know it's the worst for console hardware as a whole since 1995, meaning Europe is record-breaking. Well, that's due to the failure of the Xbox hardware. So that's what that's about. Now, yeah, we don't know. Actually, these comments are late because we got the worldwide numbers right there. Incredible numbers for the PlayStation 5. Also, shouldn't Switch 2 at 447.5K reside at number 10 on that list after Xbox Series? Yeah, it should. And, you know, we're going to be getting more official estimates. And I think the difference between VG charts and other things is they're doing sell-through. They're not doing shipped. That's why people wonder about their numbers. But those whatchamacallits will definitely sell through. So, yeah, crazy numbers, y'all. I mean, like I said, the competition has been over with. There was nothing, you know, Xbox could have ever done to begin with, like no matter how good they did. And I think Sony's trying to make their numbers look also, like I said, really good compared to what Nintendo's doing for the whole year because they see them breaking records. And they have 5 months ahead, too, to sell. So it's going to be interesting to see the total end results after December. I think we can safely say it's not PlayStation in trouble. It's the USA that's in trouble. I mean, I think that's temporarily happening. Because like I said, Nintendo's doing well in NA. And so is Sony. It's just that Microsoft had a major takedown. And they're saying that because usually in November, there's a huge boost for everything going on sale where you can get everything cheaply. And that wasn't the case for Xbox this year. So that probably like 1 million they probably, you know, would have had or whatever. Not 1 million, but maybe like 500K or whatever. That matters definitely when you're thinking about like dollar sell units as well. On top of people getting a lot of games with that and buying other things along with that, because you're not just getting a console, you're getting other things along with it. And when you consider the price point difference too, it definitely matters. And the reason why that also matters too for November is because usually Nintendo would have crazy bundles too and do like 1 million or whatever or more, but they weren't able to do that this year. So yeah, man, yeah, impressive for sure. Considering the numbers that Sony did. Good thing Europe is here to save the PS5's holiday season and potentially its entire 2026. It's about time they started pushing it super hard in the best region for PlayStation. Also, why isn't it 2008 for the DS listed? That one was the record until the PS5 took it a couple years ago. That's what I was saying, the DS. So, guys, I mean, let me know what you guys think about this. Sony doing these numbers are pretty crazy for sure. I mean, almost 2.1 million. Because they had it there on sale the whole month. Whereas like they were doing deals in the West too, but the deals they did for Black Friday were crazy and made it even more nuts. And then we see where Nintendo's strong in Japan, Sony's strong in Europe. But yeah, Xbox down here taking another L to the Switch One again for the longest. I mean, I don't know how it's going to look next year, considering like they're going to have to jack the price up again. I think Game Pass may even have to go up again. You got what's his face talking about $80 games, and I honestly I don't know. And if you guys want to go ahead and take a look at what's going on in Japan, December in Japan, Nintendo's crushing. They already sold 191K. Remember that last week they did 200 and something. So they may end up getting close to 1 million in Japan. I think this December numbers for Nintendo are going to be crazy. Consider they're not doing any like deals like that. This is just straight up. And they're sweeping again on the software. Mario Kart hitting 103,000. Pokemon Legends is doing insane numbers. I think that game may be at 10 million already, to be honest with you. And PS5 with the price drop in Japan, it's not really helping. 12,000 and then 3,000. And Nintendo, I mean, with the Switches for like, yeah, they're over 200 some thousand again. Crazy. They're both doing well. Yeah, man. 3.7 billion. Nintendo doing 1.8, which, you know, we kind of expected this. I actually thought they were going to do at least 2 million. But that ended up happening. But this is pathetic. Like, it's that month. You know what I mean? I mean, you shouldn't be letting that beat you like that. This is beyond pathetic, but this is the position that they're in. It's pretty sad. You got to admit it. It is. It sucks. Like, and it's not like I want to see this. I would have rather the competition be better. I mean, at least be at like 700K or somewhere, 800. This is beyond pathetic for a November Black Friday month. Embarrassing. Diabolically embarrassing. Well, that's what it is, though. This is the huge drop down when you think about it in their own territory. Like, you barely beat the Switch 1 in your own territory. I don't know what else to say, y'all. But this is why US was the way it was, because this tanked down. And yeah, it's just, they're just gonna have to bring it in 2026 outside of the hardware spectrum, because it's just not looking good. And the Steam machine is supposedly launching, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen with that. Like, I'm described, let me know what you guys think. Damn, nasty numbers by PlayStation. And pretty good numbers by Nintendo. They're just staying consecutive. Later, y'all. You know me, we're keeping it true over here, and we're not hating. Later.